get to ask questions or answer questions. Maybe that's what they don't like, is answering questions. So
Don't want to be called on.
that could be.
That puts you on the spot so you learn. Even if you make a mistake, it's okay.
It's true.
It's always a good thing. It's always a good thing. Then you remember it.
Go back to sharing the screen here again. Okay, there we go. Okay, Robin.
Hagios, hagia, hagion, and that's holy, holy one or thing.
Very good. Peggy.
Alas, ale, Allah. Different of the same kind.
Or other or another of the same kind.
Right.
Yeah, we don't use the word different.
Oh,
because
sorry.
We say other.
Other. Okay,
Other.
fine.
Okay, or another. Okay, it's similar.
Tim, that's the only one on your list that you don't have an on as the ending, is it?
It's, I am going to guess it is called a typo.
No. This neuter form. No, new. It's at the bottom. It's
Okay,
No new?
thank you, Peggy. It saved me from typing that up. I didn't myself on that. So. Okay, Joe.
The chaos, the chayon, righteous or just.
Okay. Robin?
I had a question on that one though.
Yes.
And it's further down in the, well, I guess I can wait until later because
Go ahead and ask it now.
it was about in one of the exercises.
yeah.
You know, it came out to be righteousness, and I was trying to figure out how to get that righteousness out of that. I know it's an adjective,
Okay.
but it was written in I couldn't see it anywhere to come out as righteousness
Yeah. No.
unless it was substantive, right? If that's the way it is as a noun, or
Right. No, there's a different ending for righteousness. It's the
that's what I thought. Yeah.
dikasune is the word for righteousness. So this is this is our adjective. So we'll look at that in its context and we'll see if we can figure out why they did that.
Okay.
If we get to that one today. Okay. Robin.
Where are we at? Acostus? Yes?
Yeah.
Hekastas, hekaste, hekastan. Each or every.
Is there a breathing mark at the beginning of that?
I don't think there is.
Smooth.
I can't see what it says.
Oh, there is a
There is
breathing
in the
mark. Yeah,
book.
there is a breathing mark. Yeah, there is.
right.
Acostus, right? There is a breathing mark.
We have a breathing mark on every word that begins with a vowel.
Oh, okay.
It's just a matter of whether it's
Yeah, I
smooth.
know, but that's what I'm asking.
Yeah,
is
it's smooth on your
Oh,
word,
there
Peggy.
it is. It's not mine. Eschatos.
That's good.
Eschate, eschaton. Tautology. Last.
Last, very good. Joe?
Heteros, heteron. It's a other or another of a different kind.
Very good.
Kainos, kaine, kainon is new. New in kind or a type.
Pekos. Keton. Waxing or evil.
That's right.
Okay, kalos, kale, kalon. It's good, beautiful, something that can be observed.
All right.
Mikros, mikra, mikron, small, little.
Manas, mane, manan.
Yeah.
One.
Yes.
Only one.
Yes. Think of a monocle.
Yeah.
Okay, necros, necron. It's a dead one person dead, right? Dead one.
Yes.
Halas, hale, halan is whole or all.
All right, pistos, piste, piston. Faithful ones, faithful,
Because it's an adjective, so it's going to be,
faithful.
yeah. If it's people, then it would be faithful ones if it was plural. You'd
Gotcha.
say, yeah, faithful or dependable, yes.
Poneros. Poneros. Ponera, poneron. It's a evil.
Paneros.
Paneros.
paneras, yes, yeah,
Paneros.
This is the one that spreads
It's malignant.
like cancer.
malignant, yes.
Protos, prote, proton is first. Like a prototype.
Yes.
And then the ones in the workbook,
No, yes, yes,
right? Okay.
yes,
That's what we're starting now, right?
yes.
Okay. Allah. But, and this is the stronger comparison or contrast, right?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
Apocalypsis. Apocalypse. Seos. Seos. Seos.
Eos,
Eos. Apocalypse. Eos. Is that where you put it? Okay. And apocalypse. Say.
actually, that's the definite article, because this is a noun now.
Oh, that's the. Oh, okay. That's
This-
okay. A apocalypse. Apocalypses, right? That would be Revelation.
Revelation. See, now this one is, this ending, this, I don't know if you can see if I'm highlighting this, if it
Yeah.
should, but that ending is nominative and this is genitive.
What?
The eos is a genitive ending for this particular word. They're introducing it because they needed it for the exercises. It's something you'll learn down the road. So, and so that the hey is the definite article. So hey, apocalypsis.
De is also but it's less strong. It's a weak but.
That's right. And sometimes it's not even translated. It's a transition word for Greek.
It's a conjunction, right? Can it be like an and also like a continuation?
It depends. It depends on context. If you look that up in a Greek dictionary, it has a lot of potential meanings depending on context. So yes,
You're gonna have to skip me for a second. I need to go wrangle my children.
that's
Okay.
fine.
I mean, I am.
Evangelion. The gospel.
Gospel. Very good.
And so it'd be you, Angela. Oh, that's ta. Okay, so ta. Oh, so that's
It's a noun.
Neuter.
It's a neuter noun. Yes.
Okay. Okay. Over here, theos or ha theos, God, or that's for a God too, right?
Yeah. It's just the Greek word for a god.
U or ook. So no, not.
Oh,
I'm back.
good. Because it's your own.
Palayan, old.
Oh, see, I'm not gonna remember that one.
Just remember
Paleontology.
paleontology
Oh,
or the paleo diet, popular one today. Ancient diet, old diet.
Okay.
Diet.
Say that I'm like stupid diet.
Well, yeah, but
It's not stupid. Okay, so Sue is that's like Spanish. You.
Mm-hmm.
Salmos. Salmos. Psalm or hymn.
psalm or hymn. Okay, there you go.
And Tim, on that one, do we say the p sound of the psi?
It's just almost, it's almost a silent P. It just
Okay.
swallowed up in the sigma sound.
Okay.
Unless you're psalmist.
Well, and from what I understand, people that speak Greek well, it's kind of like, I'm trying to think what the letter, it's like, trying to think in Spanish, there's a word I think like cabeza. And you talk to some Spanish people and you're saying, are you saying a V sound? And they say, yes. Is it a B sound? Yes. And it kind of depends on where they're from. The B or the V comes out, but both of them kind of come together.
Yeah, it's B de vaca or B de vaca.
Yeah. And if you're not native speaking that, you just don't pick up on it real well, but they do. So it's the same thing with Salmas, that they kind of have a little bit of, they have just a real quick slight P sound in there that almost disappears for us. We're like, are you saying a P? I don't know for sure. Okay, so now we'll be off. So we already kind of reviewed the rule. Peggy reviewed the rule for us. Every adjective has to match the noun that it modifies in gender, not in declension, in gender, case, and in number. So we can stop sharing the screen now here. Yeah, so a gender, case, and number is what it's going to match. And that's going to be important because you're going to have, give me an example of a noun that we've learned that is masculine, but is not second declension. We've learned a couple of them so far. Do you remember?
Prophetes.
What?
That's the one I was.
Prophetes or Mateus.
Yeah.
Prophetes.
Yeah. See, so if you have an adjective that modifies then prophetes, the adjective is going to have a second declension masculine ending.
Same with neuter.
And the same with the neuter, yes. Yes. Okay, so let's go over our exercises then. And go down to number 6(2)B. Unless you want me to walk through the first, unless you want me to read for you, which I don't really want to do. So,
I already answered this.
you did?
We did.
Okay.
6(2)B.
Oh, we're just giving the answer to this. And they have
Gender, number, case.
to be another case. Okay. 6(3)A. Next one, we'll just, Joe, if you just,
Okay. Masculine and neuter adjectives follow the endings of the second declension, whereas feminine adjectives follow those of the first declension.
very good. Robin.
The fact that determines the ending of an adjective modifying a noun is the gender and not the declension of the noun.
Very good.
Okay.
Good practice.
You got it, Peg.
Got it. In the sentence blepoton, piston, adelphon, I see the faithful brother, the form of the adjective pistos must be in the accusative case, piston, in order to agree with adelphon.
Very good. So that's a green in case. It's also a green in numbers. Clearly, but that's not what they're asking.
The nominative singular ending of feminine adjectives is alpha or a after epsilon, iota, rho. However, any other stem ending, the feminine singular ending will have the eta.
Very good. Okay, let's go down to 6(4)A1.
The attributive use of the adjective attributes a quality to the noun modified. List the two ways the author illustrates. The ways that he illustrates are ha agathos logos or ha logos ha agathos, and they both are translated the good word.
Okay. So, I've got the two places to put them in there. So the two ways, if you remember, is answer's correct, but just for anybody that's following along that didn't catch this, two ways to put an attributive adjective with a noun is to have the article. I should write this on a board. There's a reason I got a board here. would be to have an article followed by the adjective followed by the noun. Okay, so article, adjective, noun, or article, noun, article, adjective.
The way I remember this is you better have an adjective before the, or an article
Article.
for the noun or the adjective.
Yeah.
But
Yeah. Very good. So we've got, so that's what's tying this together. And that's for the attributive situation.
there's always an article before the adjective.
That's right.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Okay,
This is our next question.
the attributive use of the adjectives, the definite article, I hate this next word, usually precedes the adjective. So you're gonna have times where it doesn't.
You're gonna have some times once in a while where there won't be, yeah, and but the predicative does not work. You
Okay.
can clearly tell by context that that's not what's being said.
Okay.
Remember, there's when you're learning anything, there are rules that you'll learn, but the other key facet is always pay attention to context, because context is what flavors all of this. Okay.
Should I skip to 64B1? Because I'm not sure if 64A3 is a question or just statement.
Let's go over 64A4. I should have brought my copy of Dana and Manti down here.
Wait,
A3, you mean?
we don't have 64A4.
Oh, you don't have a comment on?
We have 64A3, which is a comment.
They just in the modern thing they've removed this. Okay. Anyway, both of these two ways of writing this, Dana and Manti, who were two grammarians in the middle of the last century, they noted that ha agathos logos and ha logos ha agathos, the two ways that we wrote this, they're equivalent expressions, but they're not identical. The English translation does not demonstrate the difference, however, when we do this. But what you're doing is, when you put it like this, Dana and Manti assert that when you write the article with the adjective and then the noun, that you're giving more emphasis or more prominence to the adjective by putting it here rather than locating it in another place with respect to that noun. Okay. So it's just a matter of prominence. That's a little bit more advanced grammar, but it's something the old workbook actually had here. And I went through Dana and Manti many years ago. It's one of my reference grammars I use regularly. So, okay.
That makes sense.
Yes. Okay, so the next one, 64B1.
Okay, the predicative use of the adjective makes an assertion or statement about the noun. List the two positions where the author illustrates the use. Write the English translation of these Greek examples. I wrote in both. In the Greek translation, I put the word in parentheses, I put is good.
Mm-hmm.
And the second way would be is good, the word in parentheses is. It's not there, but in Greek, I put logos, agathos for the first, the word is good, and then agathos, logos, the second way.
So essentially, if we take this becomes predicative by having the article and the noun and then the adjective without the article. And we are, if the text doesn't already supply it, we're supplying an is here. In this type of a situation up here, the article moves to this position. And we move this, take this away out here, and we still have the same thing. Okay. Hopefully everybody can see that. That's the article in front of the noun, not in front of the adjective.
Okay, so the top one, they both say the word is good.
Yes.
So what's the deal with doing it that way?
You're just
Because it's
Go
It's
ahead.
inflective. Remember that. The
Yeah.
words are in Greek can be written in different ways. It's probably putting emphasis again based on data and anti.
And that's the idea, that you're bringing emphasis. So if you set the adjective out in front of the noun, separate from the adjective, or separate from the article. So the article and noun are here, and the adjectives out in front. It's another way of bringing emphasis to what you're trying to say. So it'd be like saying, really emphasizing the word is good in that way, bringing some quality. There's a real practical example of this. Let me write it up here. Of this situation, and it actually uses a verb. We don't have to supply a word, but we have hopefully I wrote that large enough. Can everybody read that? Theos, this my marker didn't have it set on the side enough. Theos, ain, you don't know what ain is. Ain is was being. Theos, ain, halagos. Now, because this has a definite article, this is the first part of the sentence. This is what we would call the subject in this, even though both of these are in the nominative case. So you're basically saying the word was being God. This is the last clause of John 1:1. And what it's doing is, by putting God out in front, it's laying emphasis on this idea of deity. We say God, but in this case, what it's really saying is the word was being deity. That's what it was, which would have been a shocking thing for a Jew to hear, that this one they're calling the word is also deity, because they only believe in one deity. So that's meaning this one has to be equal with the one who in the previous clause was said to be facing another one who is deity. So you have the word facing God, but the word himself is God. So this is a place where understanding is. Now these are nouns, not adjectives, but it's a good illustration of that, how these endings work. So like I said, it's nouns, but it's working the same way as with the adjectives in this case. Okay, let's see, where are we? We want to go to, so let's go to 6.4c1. I think that's the next question we have here, and I don't know who answered.
I think Joe just went, right? So it's my turn. The substantive use of the adjective has the adjective functioning as a noun. This type adjective may take on the form and use of any case.
Okay.
I have no idea what that means.
Go ahead.
What I think it means is that's where it could be like an adjective is used kind of like the subject in this case, where it's identifying like a group, like of women or of men or of something, in a group, but there's no noun following it. So it becomes like the subject.
I'm going to
That's how I
hear,
see it.
I'm going to go back over here to when we looked at these. Okay. I think this is, if you can see this one I gave you at the top of the page here. When we're using these in the attributive sense, we have he, dikaya, basileia, kai, he, panera. Okay. So the righteous kingdom and the evil kingdom. And here's a place where panera is an adjective, but it's functioning as a substantive for what we would call an evil kingdom. So we had the righteous kingdom and the evil kingdom.
We have to read back.
So
Yeah.
we're assuming the kingdom because of context.
That's right. Yeah, we're not just pulling something out of the air. We're looking at that in the same way. So here's from Luke 6:45. This is the one, this is a verse that I pulled. It says, so the good man out of the good treasure of his heart, he carries out good things, or a good thing. Okay. I think there's another version of this that it's plural, and Luke's is singular. And the evil, now notice there's no anthropos after this. So it's just the evil man, by comparison from the first part, out of the evil, and it doesn't have the word treasure here, but we know that's what he was saying in the first part. He brings or carries out the evil thing. Okay. So in these cases, in this second clause here, paniros both times is referring once to the man and then once to what we would call the treasure, because it's out from, it's an ablative. So both of these. Now, the thing that's good about this is this note here says that Joe read for us, or Robin read this for us, I'm sorry. This type adjective may take on the form and use of any case. So in the first case, we have paniros, because man, anthropos, is the subject. Okay, it's the subject of the sentence. But in the second case, it's out of the good treasure, out of the evil treasure. So now our case is an ablative in that case. And then he brings forth the evil, and in both of these, agathon and paniron, they actually are just saying he brings out the good or brings out the evil, whatever it is in the context. In this context, he's talking about the things that a person says. So it would be words, could be actions. So he brings out good actions or good words, or evil actions or good words. You'd have to read the verses in the context here of what Jesus was talking about the nature of a man and what they were doing. So this, look at this. We have three adjectives: paniros, paniru, paniron, and they're all functioning as there's adjectives, but they're all functioning as substantives, and each one has a different case ending, even though they're standing without a noun, but they're specifically modifying in that little phrase.
Tim, what helped me to kind of understand that when I kind of put it all together is like the context determines that, right? So what I did is behind that adjective, even though there's no noun, I just wrote a noun in of the context and just put it in parentheses.
Yeah.
And how I know that, like, evil man isn't there, so I put man in parentheses.
Right. And I think a Greek-speaking person, they would have been accustomed to doing it without supplying the word because it's mentally supplied, but they don't have to say it. But I think clarity for us, if we're translating it, I find a lot of times translations add the word man when you have a situation where the adjective is referring to a man. By context, that happens a lot. So yeah, and so that's why, and I'm kind of old school that when I add words, I put them in italics, and putting in parenthesis is fine, just so that we know that we've added something here. So that's why I have man and treasure in italics.
Yeah, I just put it in parentheses because as I'm writing it, I can't do italic writing.
Why not, Joe?
Come on.
Okay. So I think we're with Peggy, 6.4C3.
The student should observe that no specific noun can be supplied by the substantive adjective unless it is clearly implied by the context of the clause or sentence. Some unexpressed noun identified by the gender and number of the adjective must be understood. Note that the implied noun should be placed in parentheses, not in italics. Sorry.
Well,
I know. When a collective or general sense is intended, including both men and women, the masculine plural is used.
Okay. Yeah, and I've noticed if you know Spanish does the same thing. When you have a word that you're referring to a collective sense of people, you never refer to a group where men are included with a feminine adjective or a feminine noun, you always use masculine in there. So, yeah. Okay. It's just
Okay.
the next one, Joe. I don't know where it is on your page.
64C4.
Yes.
The definite article can also be used substantively.
Okay.
Substantively.
Yeah, they
Yes.
have that.
Yes, and that was in the we had that.
Oh,
in
wait. Yeah.
A book.
Yes,
Yeah,
that was
yeah,
it. That
yeah,
was
yeah,
in the
yeah,
book.
there's it,
So
yeah.
you're going to have times. In fact, last night I was in the middle of the night when I couldn't sleep. I was doing some translating, and I came across a couple of places where the definite article standing in front of a word operates as a pronoun, and we translated it his, and it's real clear. If you read it, you would understand why we do that. So it's again, it's kind of a thing of context. Okay, next one.
Occasionally, the accusative singular of certain adjectives is used adverbially.
Okay, and we also did have that noted in our book. So you will come across those. Anyway, I was going to give an example, but we'll say that. Okay, here we go. So exercises. Peggy, you get to start on the first one here.
Ha agapetas mathetes akui tus hagathus.
No, not hey.
Agathus, sorry, agathus lagus.
Okay.
The beloved disciple, he hears the good words. Yeah,
Yes.
okay. So how can you be certain that the agapetas modifies mathetes and agathus modifies lagus? Because agapetas mathetes is masculine gender, singular number, nominative case.
Okay.
And agathus lagus is masculine gender, plural number, dative case.
Not dative.
Not dative?
No. Accusative.
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 Dang it.
Accusative
Okay,
case.
accusative.
Accusative case. Okay.
As the oos, right?
That's right. So they're matching.
Ha, we've got the ha and we've got the tooth as
And I appreciate the fact that you worked out exactly what all the details were. I would have given the simple answer, they match in gender, case, and number. That would have been the lazy answer. She did the detailed answer, which is good. That's good. Okay.
oh, what? Oh, so are the two adjectives agapetas and agathus attributive, predicative, or substantive? On what do you base your answer? For predicative, the direct article precedes the adjective.
No.
Damn, man.
They're
It's
attributive.
attributive.
Oh my
They're
gosh.
attributive.
Why am I writing this?
They're attributive. Whenever you go back up and, oh, I erased this. Remember, the attributive in this case has the article
Yeah.
and then the adjective and then the noun. In this case, that's what the situation we have in both of these. Okay. Okay, Joe, number 2.
Okay. Agaiton monon weon to micro oiko. So I put he, she, or it is leading the only son to the small house.
Okay.
How is monon used in the sentence, or on what do you base your answer? It's used as an adjective in Accusative singular masculine used attributively, right? Article ton precedes adjective monon, so that's how I know it's used attributively.
Yes.
Locate oiko. It's a noun, dative case, singular number. Function is an indirect object, masculine. Lexical form is oikos, declension second.
Okay, so now it's on to me. And this says hagias, 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 kurias, hatheas, followed by Revelation 4:8. And it says, holy, holy, holy Lord the God. Yeah,
That's right.
okay.
Everybody,
And then it says transliterate this sentence.
Peggy was asking me about that the other day. Transliterate just means that you write it out in English. So you would, instead of an alpha, you write an A. Instead of a gamma, you write a G, and so on.
Oh,
So that's what, and I'm not for sure why they have you do that at this juncture. So, okay. So don't worry about that one. We'll skip that. Go to B.
okay. B says, what is the significance of the case number and gender of the appearances of hagios? And I said that they match the nouns that they are modifying.
Okay. What, this does not ask you this here. Are those adjectives, hagios, 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 are they attributive, predicative, or substantive?
That is a great question. They do not have definite articles before them, which by our rules would make me think they are not attributive.
Correct.
So our other options are predicative or substantive, and they are modifying nouns, yeah?
Yeah.
So they must be predicative.
So that's the case. And so if we translate this, rather than for us, we would say, Lord God is holy, holy, holy. It's holy, holy, holy is Lord God. This is a place, by the way, to notice kurios does not have a definite article, and you're going
Right.
to come across this in the New Testament, that there are times that there are words that have a definiteness to them without the definite article. So we probably in English, we would say holy, holy, holy is the Lord God in this case.
Is the Lord God instead of is Lord the God, which is where they do have the definite article.
Right. And what you're having is you're pulling this, if you go over to Isaiah 6, you have this happening in Isaiah 6 over there. This is repeated by the same beings that Isaiah saw. Now John is seeing these beings in Revelation 4, and they're repeating the same thing. So we kind of have a setup and explanation a little bit about how this works. Anyway, we will go over that a little bit more when we understand a little bit more about the definite articles down the road. Okay, Peggy, back to you. I need to get more coffee. I will be listening.
Kake hamartia kai he basilaya agape. Sin is evil and the kingdom is good. Our kake and agape function is attributive, predicative, or substantive adjectives. What is the primary indicator? They're predicative.
Yes.
Because a direct or a definite article doesn't precede them, and they're in the nominative case.
Okay.
What part of speech is kai? What is the function in this sentence? Conjunction, connecting complete thoughts.
Okay.
What?
Okay.
What?
Blepomen tan kakan, karpan kai, tan kalan, artan.
Okay.
Dissecting parts blepomen. It's a verb, present, active, indicative. First person plural.
Oh,
Lexical form. Huh?
can you go back and give us a translation of the sentence, first of all?
Oh, sorry. The bad fruit and the good bread.
Okay.
All right. So first person dissecting parts blepomen. Blepomen, it's a verb, present, active, indicative in the first plural. A lexical form is blepo. Stem is blep. Ending is omen. Connecting vowel is o, omicron.
Okay.
The subject is we.
Yes.
What case are the adjectives kakan and kalan in? Accusative singular masculine and second declension.
What? Say that again.
Accusative singular masculine. Yes. You rattled up so fast, my brain couldn't keep up. I'm sorry. That's not your.
Okay, so that's what
Accusative singular masculine and going by the second declension.
Yes, you're correct.
All right. What is the function of karpan and artan in the sentence? They're both in the accusative singular masculine nouns, so they're the direct object of the action.
Right. Very good. Okay, number 6.
You might have to skip me.
Okay.
I mean, I know you don't like that, but the truth is my brain's not working. I can read the sentence for you.
Okay, go right ahead.
Agapetoi uk en tallane kainen grapho humin Allah, except for it doesn't say that, and tallane palayan. And I don't have any idea what it says.
Loved ones, I am not writing a new kind of command to you, but an old command. Right?
Very good.
Good job, Peg.
Got that. Number 7, 8, and pretty much the rest of them. So what case, number, and gender is agapetoi in the above sentence? What's the significance of this case? All right, so it's nominative.
It's not.
Yes,
No,
It looks.
it's evocative.
This is vocative. We don't get these very often because it's saying.
What do you mean this is vocative?
Because remember.
Vocative, adjective, plural, masculine, second declension, substantive.
Yeah, the vocative ending is the same as the masculine plural ending. It's the same. So it's saying beloved. Remember, vocative is when you address it. Is when you address a person. Yeah, when you're addressing them. So.
Well, then I'm not answering anymore.
I thought it was that too. And then when you translate it as beloved as one word, it comes out more with a more emphasis. I thought, okay.
Right. And just like our address in English, it's separated by a comma from the rest of the sentence.
Oh, that's a good way to look at it.
Except I notice people don't always do that when people write stuff today, especially when people are texting or such, that put a person's name in, they'll just kind of keep going. And I'm always kind of caught. Oh, wait a second. They didn't put a comma. So they're addressing that. So
I have a question on the pronunciation in Allah and Entolin. Do you pronounce Allah Entolin or just say Al Entolin?
I would just say all entolane.
Okay,
consonant. Yeah,
because they know it has the vowel preceding that breathing mark, right?
right. Oh, and I was going to ask us why, but the next question actually tells us that.
All right, wait, so we have to finish it. It's masculine gender? Singular number? No.
Oh, I don't even have that in mind.
What, I'm on 6A yet. What case number and gender is agapetoi?
Oh,
It's vocative, plural masculine, following the second declension.
yes. Why would it be masculine second declension? You remember one of the rules we learned today? Who's he writing to?
Because it's the adjective has to follow the case,
Oh,
gender, and number.
It does.
Substantive.
It does.
because when a collective or general sense is intended, including both men and women, the masculine plural is used.
Yeah. So this
Yes,
is
good
where the
job.
plural is being used because he's writing to a group of believers. That includes men and women. Exactly.
Substantive adjective functioning as a noun, collective sense, so masculine plural.
Yes.
Dissect and parse. Did we want to read this?
Oh, here, there's a section on Allah. Allah was added as a supplemental vocabulary, it says here. And Allah used in this sentence is the enclitic form al. Enclitic means that that it's been shortened up. The last vowel, the final vowel has been dropped because the next word begins with a vowel. So it's easier pronunciation to drop the alpha at the end of Allah and you can pronounce it with interlane. Okay. And the other thing that it does is if you notice with Allah, Allah does not have, I'm going to go back here to the beginning. Allah, if you were to look at it in your vocabulary, has an accent. There's no accent on Allah in this verse.
Loses its accent.
Right. Okay. Now dissect.
Bravo,
Yes, please.
unless Robin wants to do it.
Sure, I can do it. It's a verb. Tense is present. It's active voice, indicative mood. First person, singular number. The lexical form is grapho. The stem is graph. Ending is O. Connecting vowel. Is the connecting vowel omega or is it omicron? It's omega.
Maybe.
And the subject is I.
Okay. Okay. I think we'll do one last one. We'll do number 7 here.
You want me to do that?
What? Yes, go ahead.
You want me to do that?
Yeah.
Because Peg did the other one, kind of.
Since you have heard that one.
She did.
We can both share it. Okay. Oi prophetai, legosin, kainos, lagus, alethenias, tois, pistois. The prophets are speaking new words of truth, or are saying, or new words of truth to the faithful ones, or faithful.
Okay.
Okay, we'll go through our answers and then we'll come back and we'll talk about some things of it.
I said to the faithful because to me it looks, once again, substantive use.
Yes.
Right, of pistos. Locate, prophetai. It's a noun in nominative case, plural number. Function of the sentence is the subject. Masculine gender, Lexile form is prophetes in the first declension. Is aletheia genitive singular, ablative singular, or accusative plural feminine? All feminine, right? My answer is genitive singular feminine. How can you be sure? I put as a first declension ending for the genitive singular for in that stem ending, ois or eos.
Yeah. Right. You said
I put genitive singular, but the stem ending in I, with iota as right.
Yeah, because it can't. Okay.
Aletheia is feminine noun. And I said, again, it's genitive because it was consisting of the truth, right?
Yeah. Now, if aletheia were an adjective modifying lagous, what would the ending on it have to be then?
It would have to be a us ending.
It would take the second declension mass plural ending. Because it's taking the feminine ending here, then it's standing separate from this way. So that's why it's words, new words of truth. Okay. So now we have truth then characterizing these words in some way of truth.
Right.
So here you're using the genitive case to modify this. It has to be, because if it's plural, then it would have to be the new words of truths, plural. It would have to be plural truths is the way we'd have to translate that.
Right.
Kainos logos starts masculine.
Yes.
Aletheia isn't modifying that.
No, it modifies it only as a genitive noun does. Remember when we've looked at genitive
What's it
noun?
modifying?
It's new words from truth or consisting of truth in this way.
Consisting of truth.
Because it's different gender.
That's because it's not an adjective. It's a genitive. Remember when we learned the genitive case? The genitive case also sometimes isn't. Okay. So this is really good because it's showing you that there's different ways you can modify, a noun. You can modify a noun by using a genitive, or you can modify a noun by using an adjective. Okay.
Yes, and the word lagous is a accusative plural masculine. Aletheia is the genitive of that.
Let's go back to
a noun.
I'm trying to think of an example here that we can use that we have learned. Here's one. Here we go. So what does that say?
Hey, basileia anthropou, I think.
Yep. So this is
the kingdom
of men.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, men is modifying basileia because it's a genitive ending. It's not the kingdom from men. It's not ablative. It's genitive. So it's a kingdom that is characterized by men. Okay, or characteristics somehow or another of man. So we've already done that. We spend a lot of time reminding ourselves every time we have a genitive case, the chief thing that it does is it in some way modifies or does something with the noun that it's connected to. It could be. It is a noun. Yeah. So it could be possession. Could be the kingdom that belongs to men, but that's still modifying it. It's still modifying it by telling you something about it. It's the kingdom that belongs to these men. Or it's characterized as a kingdom that's made up of men, or something like that. So that's the situation that we have in this case with aletheos, is that they're putting it in a genitive case to modify kainos. So we have an adjective modifying logos, which is kainos, and we also have a genitive word. Now they're separate because it's otherwise. Let's put it this way: if we were going to use aletheos as a regular true adjective, then this sentence would be translated: the
New
prophets,
truthful words.
they speak the new truthful words, or the new true words. Yes, that's the way you would have to do it if it was functioning as a true adjective. But we're saying words of truth in that regard. Okay. And so we learned that we would say words of truth. Okay. And then we have to say, well, what is words of truth mean? So this is actually a good sentence, because it's reminding us again that there's two different ways that we can modify or say something about a noun. There's going to be other ways that'll come out eventually. And we do it in English all the time too. We use adjectives and we use phrases to modify nouns and things like this. Okay.
Okay, see,
You
his
do.
choice pistos, the faithful, quote unquote, men or women, as used in this sentence. I said yes. On what do you base your answer? Again, it's a substantive case or use of the adjective faithful, or pistos.
Yes, it is. And it's what is the ending on that tell you?
It's masculine, plural.
Masculine plural. And remember, you use a masculine plural, use the masculine plural form of an adjective if you're going to if you're going to use it in a substantive sense to refer to a group of people, men or women here. So he's not saying the prophet's speaking these new words of truth only to faithful men. Looking at it could be faithful people, you might say. In fact, I notice some of your modern translations avoid coming across two sexes. They might add that. They might add new people or new something like that. So just for faithful people or faithful ones in that regard. Okay. Very good. My book flipped those two questions around, so I thought that they skipped that one. Dative. I think it would be dative because they're speaking these two faithful men. And so dative is always looking at people that are receiving. They're doing something to them in the sense to receive. Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Today is the 17th, right? Okay. I'm going to stop.